Yeah.
What is up, Omar? What's up, everybody? Luis here. Hope you are all having a wonderful day. And today we're going to talk about, I don't know, nothing. It's a show about
We got a
nothing.
lot to talk about. I beg to differ. We're gonna talk. We were having a whole conversation before we got on about kind of everything that's going on in the news with interest rates, the massive job layoffs, right, and how that kind of correlates with the real estate game.
Yeah, I think I want to go with the show about nothing. Have you ever seen,
Oh,
do you remember Seinfeld?
that's your show. I've
You,
never was
you're
a big
telling me
fan.
you've never watched Seinfeld.
I have seen it. I know it's about.
You know what it's all about?
Yeah,
What's it about?
it's about Jerry Seinfeld and his life and his comedy
It's a
with his
show
with his friends.
about nothing. Where's that? I thought I had the sound effect. So Jerry Seinfeld or Seinfeld is a show about nothing. And that's what this show is today. It's about nothing except for rates
So you just want to
and
shoot the
mortgages.
shit?
Yeah,
All
isn't
right.
that the best?
Oh yeah. I like just talking.
All right, all right. No, on a serious note, let's start off with
Yeah.
why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Man, if you're tuning in for the first time and you haven't heard my voice yet, my name is Omar Pineda. I'm a realtor here in Austin. And one thing I love to do is put on a lot of education because it is hard to figure out what's what, especially if you're a first-time home buyer or first-time home seller. And I just try to put out content that's helpful. That's it.
Nice, nice. And tell us how long have you been in the industry?
2 years, baby.
2 years. All right, all right, all right. And what's your favorite part of doing this?
Man, if I've always been the type of person where I do not like the day in and day out to be the same. I
Mhm.
don't like monotony when it comes to my work, and this job definitely you don't experience that one bit because every day is different. Every day you learn something new. And so it's a position that's I'm gonna continue to learn every day. And that's what I want. Because that's if I stop learning, and eventually with every job I've done, I stop learning to a certain point because I learned everything as much as humanly possible, and then it gets boring.
Yeah.
With this, no.
Oh yeah.
Especially because Austin's an ever-growing place. There's so many more moving parts, and it's a super exciting place to be because everything is just like every year, this place changes for the better. I
I
like it.
know. I
I like
know.
it.
Yeah, I've been here for 2 years, and I've seen so much change in these 2 years. Now, speaking of change, tell us about the market because I'll tell you right now because I have been focusing a lot still in the San Jose Bay Area market, and it's rough. It's definitely rough. It's challenging. There's multiple offers. We're making through God, 4, 5, 6, 7 offers before our buyers get into contract, and it's again, it's challenging. There's well, just recently we broke the 500, or that market broke the 500 homes on the market for sale in a 2 million county, population of 2 million. So 500 houses for 2 million people. Imagine that.
So give me some context for that. Well, is that good or bad?
That's horrible. That's nothing. So
Okay.
that's why it's a seller's market. You
Okay.
got those multiple offers, and stuff is going over asking again. And again, it's challenging for especially veterans and first time home buyers. You need to come in with like 20% down to get your offer even considered.
I
So
saw an interesting article that talked about one of the challenges California has, especially that area
mhm.
where it's a very upper echelon of folks in income that they def they I guess almost protest to the local government when it comes to building more housing because they want to protect I guess the population in their neighborhood,
Right.
right? So it's very difficult to build more housing because they run into opposition with the people that are already there, which is a little unfair, but I can see both sides to this. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, I completely get you. And in Santa Clara County, just to add a little more context, Santa Clara County, it's a valley. It's Santa Clara County or Santa Clara Valley. there's no more room to build. Like we're landlocked. Like there's hills on this side, hills on the other side, and that's it. If you go over the hill on the west side, then that's the ocean. Then that's where you get into Santa Cruz, and that's, I mean, that's very limited as well. On the other side, you got the Mount Hamilton Hills, which yeah, that landlocks you. So that's why there's not enough building. So now the skyscrapers are going up. Now there was some issues downtown San Jose where the airport is just down the street from downtown. So the skyscrapers can only be so tall because then it affects the
Clearance.
of flight path. So anyways, enough about that. That's been challenging. You're here today. I want to learn more about the Austin.
Let's pivot.
Austin. Pivot. Do you remember Friends? Yeah, I know you watch Friends.
I have seen Friends.
Pivot.
Oh,
remember when
Ross,
when Ross and Chandler, they were trying to move that
the couch up
the couch.
Yeah, that's the classic scene.
I wish I had that sound effect, but
I bet you in the script it just said pivot, but he made it a thing by saying it the way he did, which was like a whole, now we're talking about it all these years later.
Oh hell yeah, classic.
Good. Could I share my screen or no?
Yeah. Well, okay, what are we talking about? What are we talking about?
I put together a lot of cool information, right? Talking about, we're gonna look at the numbers all at once. So one thing I have been noticing with most people, other realtors in my industry, is when we talk about the numbers, they're only talking about the numbers for the current month. And that's hard for people to get some context and perspective, because okay, I need to compare that with what it was last year. And it'd be nice if we saw during the height of the market.
Okay.
So that's why I put together here.
So, okay, what are we looking at?
So we're looking at Austin first, right?
Okay.
So here are the numbers for the last 3 years. So starting from the right, we're looking at 2020.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at the median price, because that's an easy number to digest, right?
Okay.
So median price for a home in 2020. So this is before the big push, was 424.
Okay.
Not bad, in the 400s, right? And then the following year in 2021, we jumped all the way to 537. Right.
Oh, for the wait. Oh, you're talking about the median price. Okay, so 2020, 424,000.
Mm-hmm.
2021, 537,000. Holy smokes! So that's a lot of money.
So a good question that I see a lot of people ask.
There's that 26%.
Yeah. A lot of questions people ask, what was the top of the market? What did that look like? And we hit that in 2022.
Here, let me get me out of the way.
2022, we hit it at 590, I believe. Let me see. Make sure I'm not saying the wrong thing. Yeah. The height of the market was 2022 at 590.
Wait, that same house? Can you zoom out a little bit on it?
Yeah.
Okay, so 424 at 590.
Mm-hmm. And this is an annual for year 2022.
So in 2 years in Austin,
we went 424 to 590.
Holy schmoly! I was gonna say a bad word, but
hey,
trying to keep it PG.
Well, I'm going to answer that question because I know where you're going with that, right?
Okay.
So I did run the numbers, and I can find you a percentage for the home appreciation from 2020 all the way to 2023.
Okay, so where are we at now?
So this is the last 3 years,
so that
right?
was 590. Hold on. I'm tracking right here.
590.
So 590, that was 2022. And where are we today?
Okay, 2023. So the numbers came out.
So
we did dip a little bit. Remember 590, 2022. So January of this year, we dipped down to 525.
Okay.
Right. And now last month we went up a little bit, 532.
Okay.
Okay. So if we're looking at what did my house appreciate from 2020 to last month?
530. Yeah. Right. Okay. So now we're looking at 424
to 532. Right.
Yeah. So that's 100.
That is going to give us
100,000. I mean,
108,500. That's the difference.
Ooh, look at that.
25. Let's round up to 26% of appreciation.
Okay.
For your asset, your home, on average for the city of Austin.
That's after the dip that everybody is talking about. You got all the YouTubers. Oh my God, all the YouTubers
25%
are remember, like you see the thumbnails, it's all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Oh, 0 or 50% slash and all this stuff. if you take just a month or 2 or 3 months, if you take that period, yeah, they're not lying, but it is misleading because if you look at the 3
I'm
years,
glad you said that
boom.
because I'm gonna plug and name drop our president of the board, Ashley Jackson. And I wrote this, I pinned it up here. This is from the report to exactly what you're saying. As we compare the market today to what
Can you zoom in
yeah.
on that? Oh, there, I see it now.
As we compare the market today to what was an abnormal market in the previous 3 years, looking at the year-to-year numbers needs the added context of comparing trends month to month.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So I took that. I'm like, hey, let me put these numbers together so people can see what the last couple of years look like, and then looking at what the last couple of months look like so we can get some perspective.
Wow.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So this is Austin. I have done it. You can see right here in this column. I have done it for all these places. I
Oh, what you
love
got?
doing these
Oh,
because it's a good kind of picture of what all of Austin's looking like.
wait, how'd you create these? Did you make these or these are news articles?
No. Each city is the same thing. I've broken it down.
Wow. So you've done this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can do this from a city, get a little bit more granular to a neighborhood, and even more granular to a zip code, which is pretty cool.
Can you do any?
Well, as long as my market viewer has
Okay.
it. But that's from the Texas Realtors, and they're a big organization, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have it. And because I knew we were gonna do this, I did our zip codes, right?
Okay.
So I did your zip code here in Leander, and I did my zip code in Cedar Park. So we can take a look at that.
Yeah, let's take a look
Let's
at
say-
Leander. I'm gonna be a little selfish about it. Let's take a look at
Leander.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Leander.
let's do it.
All
I
right.
like Leander. And then I'll tell you who took the cake, who had the most appreciation out of all this list. I'll tell you because I wasn't surprised, but it's pretty stupid how much it was. I was like, man, and they keep taking the cake. Every time I look at the numbers every month, this place, this city keeps taking the cake.
All right, let's check it out.
All right, so
Tell me.
78641, Leander, 2020, 315.
Okay.
That's actually that's almost shocking to hear that number now in
Damn.
Leander now. And if you're 300s, 2021, 445. That's a pretty humongous jump. And keep in mind this little kind of number distribution here, this price distribution. This is something really interesting to keep in mind. You see how you see the price range between 2 to 300, 300 to 400? You see how that's the majority of what homes we're going for in 2020? We're going to see that shift to these bigger numbers as we get closer to today.
Okay.
Right? So in 2021, we can't see it already. So we're seeing the house appreciation from the 3 to 400s creeping up to the 400 plus range. Right?
All right, go to 2022.
2022. So we went from 445,
350.
525 was the height of the market.
That's 200,000.
Yep. 315.
Oh,
yeah, pretty
God.
close. And now look, maybe zoom out a little bit so you can kind of see just look at the price distribution. It almost did the inverse, right? From the 300s. Now that big bar is right here in the 5 to 750 range.
Mm-hmm.
See that? And another easy number to really quickly look at is just the months of inventory. So look, we were hurting for a while, 0.3, 0.4, less than a month's worth of inventory. And then 2022, we were finally catching up. And then let's look up here. We're still kind of tracking the twos for inventory, but
so we're at 506. So we dropped.
That was for January, and then last month we're at 478.
Ooh, in Leander.
In 78641 in Leander.
Yeah, that's all of Leander.
Yeah.
So we've dropped 478. Let me see. Scroll down. What was the 2022? Or 2020?
2020 was 315.
Oh,
so
yeah.
From 2020 to February of this year, that is a price difference of 109,000. And so home appreciation
30%.
31%.
That's 30%. See, if you look at that perspective, it's on fire still.
One thing we have to keep drilling is that real estate's hyper local. And in Austin, we're in a special market where all signs are pointing that this is going to continue because we have a huge demand for business, for jobs and for businesses to come. That's only going to bring more people to move here. and we're going to continue to see that. So
So,
uh,
do you think all the jobs are still coming? Because I know Facebook and you have all these layoffs coming,
I
or
think we're still going to see the effects of that as far as more job layoffs, but that's I mean that's going to be, I think, a slight dip. I don't
Mhm,
see how it's going to affect the if anything, it's going to we're going to increase in inventory, right? Because it's going to be less people
mhm,
buying houses. And if we increase in inventory, we're going to reach, because right now we're still in the seller's market, right? We want to get to try to reach a balanced market. So that way it's not favorable for anybody. And that way people have time to decide and have more inventory available to choose from,
right,
right?
right, right,
And we're not seeing this rush like we did in 2021, right? So I
right.
think if you we're still continuing to slow down and normalize, right? As far as layoffs go, man, I wish I had a better answer for you.
That's a rough one, huh?
Yeah, yeah, because
I know you.
if they got laid off and they had a house, hopefully they had it for a few years so they can kind of use the appreciation a little bit to their benefit. But man, if they just got the house and they just got a job and they were one of the recent layoffs, man, if the and you're seeing this, we would love to have you on to talk about it, because
Mm.
that'd be a good podcast. I want to get that perspective.
Well, there's a lot of implants, right? From the Bay Area, right? A lot of Tesla, a lot of engineers. Well, some engineers are going back, but so I've heard, right? I've seen a couple of articles here and there, but a lot of transplants, they sold their homes in California, they cashed in, and then they bought their houses here.
Hmm.
So I think that's going to really help stabilize the area here. It's not good for the locals, right? Because of taxes. Oh my God, taxes are brutal here in Texas. Um, it's not like in California where you got Prop 13 that limits the amount the taxes can increase per year, which is 2%. Here, I think it's 10%, right?
For the homestead,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
caps, yeah,
yeah. The
yeah.
cap is 10%, which is that's a lot. That's a lot in my opinion. But on the good side, we don't have state income tax here. So
That, and I
so
want to say, and I know you would agree with this, even though property taxes are probably like one of the big cons, like it sucks if you live here, because that's every year that changes, right? And if our houses continue to appreciate, that means you're going to be paying more in property taxes. You do see that locally with the schools and our infrastructure,
Mhm.
right? I know we've talked about how amazing the public schools here are, and you even compared it to the private school system back in California,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
So at least you're seeing your money work here
Yeah.
locally because of your property tax, because that's where our property taxes go, right? To support all the local things like schools, infrastructure, highways, and all that stuff. So I see that. I see that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There's still so much opportunity here, especially right now.
Yeah.
You know, the market has slowed. Buyers are kind of on the tend to be on the fences, on the fence, and I don't understand. I mean, I know it's fear. I know it's nerve wracking to buy a house, but at the same time, if you don't do it, the longer you wait, the higher the price is. The price because the demand is going to continue to go up, and that's not. I mean, that's just a demographics issue where you got a bunch, like a ton of baby boomers that are living longer, which they need the housing. They need to live somewhere. And then you have all the millennials that are entering that 30 to 35, 36 years of age where what they want to do is start a family. And what do they need for that? A house. So the household creation has been increasing by a lot. I mean, it's just on an upward trajectory. So there's no slowing down that demand. So the sooner you can get in, the better.
Well, and I really want to stress too that it has to make sense financially to buy a house. I think people know that buying a house is a good financial investment, but you don't want to buy a house just for that reason, because you know you have to and it's a good thing to do, and then be house poor,
Right,
right?
right,
You
right.
don't want
You
to
make a
spend
really good
you
point,
don't want to spend
Omar.
all your money on the down payment. And if you look at the data, which I love to do, the first couple years when you buy a house, there's going to be something that happens unexpectedly.
Yeah,
Something, even if you buy a brand new house, am I right?
Yep. You need to
And
have your
now and
reserves.
then you're gonna see it's not a couple $100. It might be a couple $1,000.
Yeah.
If you exhausted all your funds just to get in, and now something like that happens, and that's just for your house. What if something happens to your like you personally,
Your health, your cars,
and
your
now you're kind of screwed,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
you're right.
that has to make sense. You don't want to be house poor,
Mhm.
and but if it makes sense, right, and you're still kind of waiting because you're expecting some type of crash, or for all these foreclosures to happen, that is we're not going to have a repeat of that 2008 2010 crisis.
Right, right, and
That's another part to it.
actually, super good point. Not
Yeah.
just a good point, a super duper good point.
Hmm.
Um, so just those stats that you pulled up, that says it all. Like we are still at a 30% appreciation, even with this horrible dip that we've just experienced in the last like 6 to 9 months. So yeah, there is no crash. I mean, even if it crashes another 20%, even if it crashes another 15, 20%, we're still going to be up 10%, which I don't see that happening. And I really don't understand these numbers because just lately, this last month, I mean, the demand for housing has gone up as the rates drop because they have the right now we're what did I quote
Well,
today?
here
But well, let me just finish this point. 5.5% is what I quoted on on a 30-year fix for a VA. And I think it was around 6% for an FHA. And these are all 740 FICO, 3.5% down. I mean, just a typical single family residence, owner occupied. APR is pretty much about 5.625 on these, about an eighth higher. So there's no points. And yeah, I had to kind of go over that disclosure like quickly because I
Mm.
mentioned the rate. But point is, the rates have dropped. Just like 2 weeks ago, that was like 6.5%. It was about a point higher. So now they've dropped, and guess what? The buyers are okay. Let's go. Let's do it. And what I don't want to happen to those buyers that are sitting on those sidelines, I don't want them to be like, okay, now it's time when everybody and their mother jump in on that. And now you're not going to be competing against the interest rate or against fear mongering or against any of that. You're going to be competing with each other. And guess what? You're going to start outbidding each other. And the price of the houses go back up. And then we're going to see those numbers start to whoop, go up.
Mm.
So that's my take on it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching.
Well, where I kind of was trying to, sorry
What
for interrupting you.
did I make you lose your train of thought?
No. I interrupted you because I didn't want to forget the point that you were saying. We're starting to see days on market a lot longer,
Okay.
right?
Oh,
And I think people have a recency bias of like, hey, we still think that our house should sell like in the first weekend because we're in Austin.
oh no way.
It and
Do you have those numbers?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
pull them up. Oh, shoot, pull them up. I'm sorry to interrupt. Where's the days on market? Let's see.
So let's look at what at the high of the market,
Yeah. I love
right?
the comparison.
35 days at the high of the market.
Damn.
Well, actually, I stand corrected. Look at
No.
2021, 17
Yes,
days,
there you
2021,
go. 17
2022,
days.
35 days. That's pretty lightning fast. That's telling us that was definitely a seller's market, right?
Oof. It was horrible in 2021
Yeah.
as
And
far
now,
as the activity.
yeah, I mean,
Oh shit, we're at 52.
that's for yeah, that's for your part. But for as far as when the listing goes live and when it actually gets
Oh,
signed to the closing table,
damn.
112.82.
So about 3 months to sell a house.
Yeah. Well,
Well, what about my next door neighbor? That was like 14 days.
that's the point I was trying to make is that because you keep saying multiple offer scenarios, and I do see that when I talk to my realtor friends, they are still seeing some multiple offer scenarios, but that is only if it's priced correctly or
Mm,
maybe priced a little bit below what it should be just to get in a multiple offer situation. So it's a strategic move, right?
right.
If when I'm seeing these days on market grow like this, it's because we're still experiencing from like a market level that people are still pricing their homes way too high, right? And it's just sitting. it's to sitting.
Wow.
So, and if we continue on this path, then our inventory is going to keep going up, and with more inventory, that means it's going to be more options for buyers. So we're going to
Oh,
continue seeing
hell,
a level off of home prices,
hell
right?
yeah.
So
That would be a dream. You know why? Because I will buy some rental properties. What about rents? Anything on rent? Do you have any? I know you probably
now
don't
I
have
can't
that.
pull it up. I don't have it
Okay.
here.
But that would be amazing to watch
What do you
the
want to see
rent.
exactly for rents? I can
Well,
have it ready for
let's
next time.
watch the trends, see what rents are doing, right?
Mm,
From 2020 to 20, yeah, to now.
okay. Okay.
Because it'd be interesting to see if the rents are still going up. That'd be freaking amazing.
Well, I know that the rents are going up.
Right.
Yeah.
You've experienced it firsthand.
Yeah. Yeah. But the rents have slowed down from this year to last year, right?
Mm,
I think my rent went up a little over $100 last year,
mm,
and then this year it's gone up, I think, $50,
okay.
right? So it's not, and it's not gonna. I don't see it going up as much next year because of the way just the market shifting,
Mm.
right? Let me see if this will look pretty cool, because I do have a rent kind of like viewer thing. Let me see here. Detailed apartment stats. Here it is.
Market Viewer, Texas Realtors.
So this is Austin Full Metro
Oh, here we go.
quarterly
Yeah, you did pull it up. Look
annual.
at you.
Okay, so actually, I think
You got all this data. I love it.
hang on. I think quarterly was giving us better numbers. Yeah, here we go. I haven't looked this super closely, so I wouldn't have. I couldn't pick or
Look,
be very
average rent 15,
47.
46. What is that? A one bedroom?
But that is Austin as a whole. You can really get to, like, so Cedar Park, Leander. That's
All
kind
right.
of like where I'm at.
So 1400.
1400,
About 50.
5%
Oh, look. Yeah, yeah,
vacancy.
yeah, yeah. Let me see. Let me see. Hover over it again. No, on the other side. On the other
Oh,
side.
okay.
Yeah, look at that. Look at those rents. So from 2020, look at 2020, you're at about 1100 and it's been climbing. Look at that climb right there. See, that is amazing. And it's not tapering off too much.
Yeah, that's gonna continue to go up. That there's no doubt, right? Because that's gonna there's just, as long as more people are moving to Austin, which there's no indicator saying that's not gonna happen, this is gonna keep going up.
Oh my God, look at that income.
Yeah, and here
Income's
on the right, you can see this is kind of like a whole Texas perspective, right? So
1.7.
you got Dallas and Houston here too, and we're on the top,
Mm-hmm.
1.5% change.
Asking rent is going up and vacancies are going down. They've been dropping. Look at the red right there. I was looking at that other. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, this is really cool stuff, Omar.
Yeah.
We are coming up on our 30 minutes. Damn, time flies. I love this. I love the data. I'm a numbers guy as well, obviously being in the mortgage industry. And I love that you go over all these analytics. This is really cool.
Yeah, I hope I can tell the story and you understand from looking at these numbers the story I'm trying to tell. So it's easy to kind of digest. I hope I'm doing that.
Yeah, it is. It is, but it's numbers. It's freaking boring. How do we make it fun?
Well,
Right?
one thing I want to say is if you're watching this and you're thinking about moving to Austin and you're curious about a city or a neighborhood, comment below because I can easily create something like this so we can look at, like,
Yeah.
the history and like the what the houses have been appreciation, days on market, the inventory, so you can have a better idea of, like, hey, are you going to get resistance going in? Is it a buyer's or seller's market? Because each market's different. Like, as a whole in Austin, we're in a seller's market, but in certain pockets, we're still in a buyer's market. And
Yep. Yep.
a very good example of that is Jarrell. I hope I'm saying that right. I get confused with Jarrell or Jarrell. But in Jarrell, we're in a buyer's market in Jarrell, meaning that because I'm looking at this number right here specifically. 8 months.
Mhm.
8 months is the absorption rate for last month, at least for Gerald, right? So the amount of active listings with how many closed sales is giving us 8 months, and an absorption rate is a good way to kind of it's a good metric to
So
showcase demand for a particular geographical location.
so that would be a good place to buy.
So Gerald's like in the northern part of it's almost like the outskirts of Williamson County, right?
Yep, yep.
So I think everywhere in the outskirts of Williamson County is still, I think, in the 300s, if not, it's hovering around there, right? So that's where, but and those are all areas that are going to expand eventually. It's just, I think we went from east and we're working our way west. Oh, I didn't ever get to show you this too. So did you take a wild guess? A city in Williamson County that had like the most home appreciation.
What is it? What is it?
Liberty
Oh
Hill.
yeah, I believe that.
They were at
Liberty Hill.
358 in 2020, and they're at 689.
Wow.
But at the height of the market,
Yeah.
look at, they were at 459. That, oh no,
Yeah,
no, no,
it.
no, 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 no. I thought, because in the
689. Yeah, that's
well,
right.
up here, look at last month.
Yeah,
785.
785.
So
Damn.
the big point I wanted to make was that they had a 92% home appreciation
Yeah.
from 2020 till now.
Yeah, Liberty Hill is beautiful. I
Yeah.
love it. So, you know what?
Mhm.
I know what we're gonna name this this episode, although we had another I had another title in mind, but
Mhm.
I just wrote it down. It's is the Austin housing market really crashing? Prove me wrong.
You just came up with that?
Yeah, just right now.
All
Like,
right.
isn't that amazing?
I like it. I
Yeah,
like
hell
it.
yeah. Show about nothing. Bam, 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 bam. Bum, 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 bum,
You
bum,
know what I
bum.
like to, my show, my show that I can watch over and
What do
over
you
again?
like to show? Hey, no,
No, TV show.
this is
TV
a
show.
G-rated show, okay? Like we
Hey,
cannot show anything.
hey,
What are you talking about, dude?
quit choosing what you want to hear and listen to me. Have you seen the show New Girl?
No. Oh
See,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
is my
Well, hold on,
that's
hold
my
on.
kind of
I've
funny.
watched it with my wife because she's asked me to watch it with her.
That's my show.
Who do you watch it with? Simba?
That's my, I guess, my dog. Yeah. Yeah. That's my show.
I'm
I don't
joking.
really like watching
You
stuff over again, but that's one that I'll watch and have it play in the background. It's my comfort show. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have
I
a
think it's
blankie too? Sorry, sorry, you're a Marine. That's why I'm talking to you like that. So
when it's a cold winter's day,
you got a
I
blankie.
will bust out the blanket. Yeah. Yeah, I get cold. I get cold. But then we're not in that season anymore. It's actually hot in here.
I know, I
It's
know.
heating up.
Oh my God, look at that. We are 3 minutes over. And on that note, everybody, thank you so much for watching. Omar, thank you so much for providing this wonderful data. And let's do this again next Thursday. All right.
All right.
Peace out.
Later. Some good exit music.
Peace out.